All right, here we go. So we'll go through some strategies now. I don't know why that's not moving. There we go. Here we go. One thing I always tell patients if you go to like a holiday gathering, bringing something you can eat already is something that I recommend. I actually am going to mute you guys just for the recording. Sorry. Okay. And at least that's one thing that's already there that you can have, because during the holidays, I feel like everyone brings their A game when they're cooking and their appetizers and desserts and all that stuff. So just trying to bring something with you that you can have, it eliminates, the question if there is anything you'll be able to eat there. So whether it be a veggie tray or like the pepperoni and cheese trays, even like a fruit tray, those would be good to bring, or even like some low carb dips with good alternatives for dipping. I always tell patients like buffalo chicken dip, you can use celery instead of the tortilla chips. Things like that you can do just to make it a little easier when you go to a holiday gathering. It's important to have support as well. So if you have any friends that are also surgical weight loss patients or any support people in your life, sometimes it's good just touching base before you go to one of those, and it just gives you some extra support going into these parties and things like that. I even tell patients, you can even reach out to us. If you're nervous about going to a holiday party, you can always ask us for any suggestions or anything you can bring to parties, things like that. So you could always reach out to your dietitians if you need any additional assistance. Drink plenty of water or sugar-free drinks. The more you drink, the fuller your stomach is, so you're not going to be as hungry. So that just keep drinking, and that helps to avoid getting that hunger a little bit more increased. Don't go hungry. I am the worst for if it's one of my family's gatherings, like not eating all day and I'm ready by the time I get there. That is the worst decision to make, which I have definitely made a lot of grounds on. So just trying to eat a small, like high protein snack or something before you go, so you're not going to be starving when you get there. And a lot of times when you're hungry, you're not paying as much attention to your food choices because you're so hungry. So that's another thing we recommend, just eating a little something before you go to a shindig of some sort. Just trying to fill up on healthy foods first, veggies, fruits, things like that. More veggies than fruits. Fruits have more sugar. So, but the more you can get in that won't make as much of an impact on your overall intake for the day to help fill you up, then you can kind of, pick around for other things too. But at least you've got a good full feeling from good healthy foods. Also picking some protein items is also a good idea too. Sorry. Practice mindful eating, making sure if you're eating slowly, that helps prevent going for seconds. If you're eating too quickly, a lot of times your brain doesn't have time to tell your body that you're full, or you've taken the edge off at least when you're eating. So just, trying to take a break in between going back for seconds and just evaluating if you're still hungry, really. Sorry, I jumped the gun on that one a little bit, but waiting at least 20 minutes before going back for anything. And then if you do have like some treat type foods, just try to take smaller portions of those, so at least you get a taste. That's the main thing. You want to, a lot of us have memories tied to certain foods during the holidays. So I think that's, something we all want, those types of foods. But just a smaller amount still gives you the taste and the experience. Beware of liquid calories, seasonal beverages. I know good old Starbucks has got all the pumpkin spices and hot chocolates out now that are just shy of being a milkshake, to be honest. So also eggnog has a lot of sugar, apple cider, a lot of sugar. It's a lot of empty calories. Liquid calories don't fill you up. They move through your stomach quickly and add up just as fast. So you just want to be careful. Now you can find sugar-free ciders that you can make. There are a lot of sugar-free alternatives nowadays. So you can even use like baking spices to kind of add to like coffees to give you that spiced flavor. And you can always put a little whipped cream on top. Whipped cream isn't bad. It's mostly fat. It doesn't have hardly any sugar in it at all. So a little bit of that also can make you feel like it's a little bit of a treat too. Alcohol we'll talk about on the next slide, but like a cup of hot tea or something like that, along with other drinks too. You can have like sugar-free alternatives. All right, definitely be careful with alcohol intake. Definitely you want to limit that during your weight loss. If you do have a drink, you want to maybe set it for like one drink. And then, if you do have a drink or two, a lot of times we're not paying, again, as much attention to our food choices or how much we're eating. You might graze a little bit more while you're socializing. So that can kind of impact your weight loss. So when in doubt, try to substitute a non-alcoholic drink for an alcoholic one. The drinks, like party drinks, the ones that get you in trouble a lot of times are the like mixed drinks or cocktails, because the mixers have all the sugar in them, and that's the problem more so. So I know there are sugar-free mixers out there. I know Party Source, if you live in Cincinnati, has them. A lot of the specialty places do. I know you can order them online as well. So if that's something that you do want to have during the holidays, there are alternatives for that as well. Also, not everyone tolerates carbonation after surgery. So anything really carbonated like beers or wine coolers or seltzers, those can make you uncomfortable. So that might be like a double whammy with those. So just being careful with alcohol intake overall. You just want to, be mindful. After you go to a holiday party or even beforehand, just taking a little bit of a walk or doing a little bit of exercise, it helps you to burn off a little extra calories, and that can help kind of combat what you do consume at those meals, just to kind of even out, so to say, the playing field. But that really does help as well. Using the smallest plate possible. This is something I've always been a big supporter of. And we would teach classes in the office, I would show like a meal on a small plate of food and a meal on a large plate of food, which you can kind of see it on this slide. But that plate on the right looks a heck of a lot fuller than the plate on the left, and that's the same amount of food. So sticking with those small plates, it doesn't allow you to over portion, and it looks full. So mentally it is more satisfying. And then also just using a plate helps prevent grazing more. So if you're kind of around I call it the grazing table, if you're just kind of talking and munching, you don't really know what you're eating. If it's on a plate, you can, visualize what you're actually eating, and you can record that later in your food journal. So it's socializing and snacking go together hand in hand usually. So that's why it's important just to eat off the smaller plates and limit the portions. Focusing on family and friends, we always say, the holidays are times for family. So just, other than sharing desserts, spend time with your family, even doing like little games or things like that, just to, have a group activity that doesn't revolve around eating. So like my family, we try to play a board game or a card game or something after we eat, just to kind of chill out and just enjoy each other. So that's one thing you could even try. And I know we kind of said this earlier, but it's the holidays. Have a taste of your favorites. It's having a small bite instead of a whole piece. That's the big thing. So you don't feel deprived, because, again, we have memories tied to these holidays with foods that like mom used to prepare or grandma used to make. And, you still want to be able to enjoy yourself during the holidays, but it's not obviously going overboard. Also, it's important to set achievable goals. I tell patients, and any time of your life where the situation is not the most ideal. Holidays, grieving, celebrations, everything good or bad that happens in our lives, unfortunately, in our country is celebrated with food. So, just trying to maintain during the holidays, make that a goal, and just setting up those realistic goals can help keep you motivated during the holidays. So just another thing to think of. Importance of sleep. A lot of patients, if you're sleep deprived, they'll will eat to kind of stay awake. So that could lead to more grazing. So just it's important to get a good night's sleep, especially during this time of year because everyone's just running around like crazy. So it's really important to make sure you're getting plenty of rest and sleep. Okay. So those are the biggest things. So I'll stop sharing the slides that we can just open up for discussion with everyone. So don't be shy. And
would help them to maybe get a kid's meal or something like that if they weren't eating, Do you guys provide things like that or?
We used to have cards. I have been at home for like 5 years, so I'm not sure if they still have them at the office. I can ask, Laura, right? Okay. Let me ask if they still have them. If they don't, there's a website called obesityhelp.com, and they have restaurant cards you can print out. So there is another way to get them. Let me see if I can look this up really quick.
You said obesityhelp.com?
Correct.
Okay.
Was that help or health?
Help, H-E-L-P. I'm trying to see if I can get a link really quick for it, and I can send it in the... Oh, they want you to pay for them now. I don't like that.
Wow.
I'm trying to see if I can find them anywhere else. There used to be a card you can print out, though, but I will look for it. But I will ask tomorrow if they have them still. And if they do have them, I'll have them mail you one. Okay, Laura?
Okay, sure. Thank you.
No problem. If not,
I was
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, if in fact they do have them, I'd like one as well.
Sure. All right.
Thank you.
No problem. They are helpful. A lot of places, like restaurants, are pretty accommodating nowadays. They'll let you, I don't know how great ordering off the kids' meal is because I have kids and most is fried or on buns. But I know Cracker Barrel and Bob Evans actually have decent kids' meals. But some restaurants will, and pardon me, I don't know all of your ages, but I'm assuming most of you are not 55 and older. But a lot of places will let you order off the senior menu, which are smaller portions. Some restaurants will also let you order lunch-size portions at dinner. So it never hurts to ask when you go into those places.
Okay.
Or restaurants, obviously. But that can be helpful too.
If they have cards, can I request one as well?
Is that Melody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Got you. You're on my list too.
May I request one too?
Oh, sorry.
Toya Russell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else while I'm making a list? Feel free to chime in. Okay. All right. I got the 4 of you written down. If anyone else changes their mind, let me know.
So also question, you said this will be so that we can look at it again. Will you post that or
this
meeting tonight? The meeting that we had tonight.
Yes, Dr. Curry will post it tomorrow. And then I have a handout with a majority of that information on it. So he said he could post that tomorrow too. On our website, loseweightcincy.com. there's a section where you can view the support groups. It might even be on our Facebook page tomorrow too.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But that handout will have all the information on it in one paper. So, but either
Okay.
way, you can access it. Yeah.
I do have a
Perfect.
question. Should we have some sort of a medical alert bracelet because our stomachs have been modified?
It was a lot more popular a long time ago to do that. Like they would say like no blind NG insertions because they can't see where it's going. Obviously, it needs to be done under X-ray. So, but I haven't had a patient tell me that they've ordered a medical alert bracelet, but you're more than welcome to. That's the only thing they recommend is put no blind NG insertions.
Okay.
If you do have one made.
Yeah, I've already ordered one. So, but
Okay.
now if there is this thing called Jordan's Skinny Mixes. It's 0
Uh-huh.
calorie, like flavored syrups. And I found that they're really good to like give you that extra little bit of flavor.
Okay.
They've even got pumpkin spice. But
Okay.
like I would
Is it
add it to like my tea or my coffee. And
okay?
I'm only 8 days out from my surgery, so I'm
Okay.
right at the very beginning.
Yes, you are. Is it Jordan with a J?
Yes, it's
Okay.
JORDANS, and it's called Skinny Mixes, and
Yeah,
they've got all kinds of flavors. If anybody's interested, they're really good.
they do have a lot of flavors. Oh my
Oh, and they're
goodness.
0 calories. It's yeah.
And they're not horribly priced. They're only $5.99 to $8.99 a piece. It looks like that's really good, actually. Thank you. They have banana bread. That sounds delightful.
Ooh.
So I try not to eat banana bread anymore. No fun. Okay, so, but yeah, thank you for that. That's a good one. Put that on my bookmarks. But yeah, any of like the baking extracts, anything like these skinny syrups you can use to add to your coffee, to even like puddings, desserts, things like that to kind of switch up your flavors, even your protein shakes. They're really nice to use just to add variety because chocolate and vanilla and strawberry get very boring after a while when you're talking protein shakes. So anything you can do to kind of mix it up a little bit. I even tell patients like the powdered peanut butter. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but adding that to a vanilla shake, it makes it like a peanut butter cream. It's really good. That's another good one. But yeah. What
Of
else?
the protein drinks, which ones do you like? Some of them have very interesting flavors, but I have I'd have to go in the refrigerator and look in there. 45 grams of protein in
Is
that
it the
bottle.
Fairlife?
Not quite the Fair. Give me Muscle Milk, I believe.
Muscle milk. Oh, okay. I didn't know they came out with one that high.
Oh yes, they're sort of okay.
I was gonna say, how do they taste?
Quest.
Because some of those taste
Quest.
awful.
They are. They really are. And I don't care how much syrup I put in there. It's just not.
That's a lot of protein. So when they start getting in the 40s, I'm like, okay, how's this gonna taste? Because sometimes they don't work out so well. But yeah, I see which one you're talking about. I like the Fairlife is my favorite. I drink those almost every day. And I also buy the off-brand at it's called Nuri. It's Nurri. But they sell it at Sam's and Costco. I haven't noticed it at the grocery store, but I mostly shop at Aldi, so I avoid big grocery stores like the plague. But they may have them. They're in cans, not in like the little cartons like they usually are, or in plastic bottles. They're in an aluminum can, but they're actually really good. One I've been hearing a lot about, I haven't personally tried it yet, but the Alani, they make those energy drinks, but they also make some protein drinks that do not have caffeine in them, by the way. But they have like caramel, cookies and cream. They have a cereal, like a Fruit Loop cereal milk flavored one. So there are some different flavors you can get from that one. That one I've heard you can buy anywhere. But the Fairlife are absolutely my favorite, and they are lactose free and gluten free. So some patients will develop a little lactose intolerance after surgery. So the Fairlifes are nice just to help prevent from upsetting your stomach if you do have that sensitivity. So, or if you're gluten intolerant, those go down pretty easily. So, anyone else have anything or any other protein shakes that they really like?
The Premier Protein.
Premier. Oh, how did I forget those? That's just right up there with the Fairlife shakes. Yes. And those are nice because they have so many different flavors. And a lot of patients will add their protein shakes to their coffee, like a creamer. If you do drink coffee, so I have to do that some mornings. I'm just not a morning person at all. So I'll throw some in my coffee and call it breakfast. So easy peasy. I do know, I know this isn't a shake so much, but Isopure is a brand. They make different shakes and powders and all kinds of stuff, but they do have a clear protein water. They've reformulated it because it used to have like 25 grams of protein in a bottle of water. And this new one, it's only 15 grams, but it tastes decent. It tastes good. So that's the key with the waters. The more protein they try and shove in them, they get really thick and they dry your mouth out really bad. But the Isopures, they've come a long way. They used to be horrible. But these, the new ones with 15 grams, much better. And that's something you can kind of add to your drinks or just drink it plain just to increase protein that way a little bit if you don't like the shakes anymore. And while we're talking about protein, I know anyone that's met me in the past has probably already seen these protein bar wrappers, but I love these protein bars, the Fit Crunch. The Robert Irvine, he does those restaurant rescue shows. He's the one that makes them, and they have them usually in single bars. You can usually find them at like CVS and Walgreens, even UDF or like the bigger grocery stores that have that grocery section have them. You can also get them at Sam's and Costco, and Amazon has them. Amazon has everything, let's face it. But this one's peanut butter and jelly. They have all kinds of different flavors like cookies and cream. They have cinnamon roll, apple pie, strawberry streusel, banana bread. They have all kinds of different flavors. So these I love, and they're only, I think, 4 net carbs and 16 grams of protein for one of the snack bars. So, but very tasty. If you like PB&J, they are my favorite. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
I have an off question to ask.
Sure.
I was having a little bit of trouble eating pureed food.
Mhm.
Like my surgery was November 3rd, and so I just started it last week, but it feel like every time I get ready to eat something pureed, my
Mhm.
like my digestive tract is not doing it. If I eat yogurt, soft stuff like that,
Mhm.
jellos, things like that, but it does not want to take food like, the more of the pureed
Puree
food like
style.
that. I'll get the
Is it
foaming or I'll get the
okay?
belching.
Okay. It could be that it's a little thick. If it's too thick, it might feel like it gets stuck when it's going down. So you want to make sure it's kind of that yogurt consistency when you do eat it. But you can eat yogurt plain, like applesauce, sugar-free pudding, hot cereals, mashed potatoes on the soft or on the puree diet. Just be aware that the hot cereals and mashed potatoes don't really have any protein, so you could add a little bit of non-flavored protein powder to it to beef it up a little bit. But sometimes it's just, if it's a denser texture, especially at the beginning, it doesn't want to go down very easily.
No, it's not at all. But okay.
Liquids are going down okay?
Liquids are fine. Yep. I
Okay.
drink those really good and stuff,
Okay.
like 64 ounces a day, but just not
Okay.
being
Good.
able to get food down.
Okay. Yeah, maybe thin out the food just a little bit more and see if that goes better. And each week that goes by, it will get easier to eat as that swelling goes down. So it's just really fired up right now still.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but it will get better, I promise.
Okay. Right. Mm-hmm.
Another thing I do suggest when just looking for different holiday recipes is going on Pinterest, or there's another app I've been hearing a lot about. I think it's called Pepper the app. They have free recipes. So you could even search like low carb or sleeve or weight loss surgery soft diet recipes, or low carb holiday recipes, things like that. You can search and find good alternatives. I try to find stuff all the time, new things. I get bored really easy with food, so I try to, always have new options. So that's another thing you could even try to do. And that one website I brought up earlier, the Obesity Help, they actually have recipes on their on the website as well. So that's another good one to go to. It's been around since I started with Dr. Curry a long time ago. So. All right.
What is that called one more time?
It's obesityhelp.com.
Okay. Yeah.
I did have a question.
Sure.
When we have our family Christmas, it'll be on the 20th of December. So I'm only going to be 12 days out from my surgery. And we're going to be 2 hours away from home. So at that point, will I still be on clear liquids?
Did you say 2 days after surgery?
12 days.
12. 12 days post-op, you'll be on puree foods.
Puree foods.
Yes.
So things that I could take with me would be like yogurt.
Yep.
Okay. As well
Yogurt,
as clear.
protein shakes. I mean, you can puree Christmas dinner. I don't know how appetizing it will look, but that is an option.
Yeah. I don't think we're having traditional Christmas. My son's having a big pot of chili, which I don't think is a good idea. But
you can puree it as long as it's not spicy. I tell people to puree chili all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, pureed Wendy's chili is the most popular thing since I was in college for this population of patients. It's insane. Everyone loves it. So you might try it.
Okay.
It probably tastes better if it's your son's chili.
Look, and I've been trying to figure out like how far I would be in my progression. And I knew solid food. So I just
Yeah. It'll be purees will be for 3 weeks. So you'll be on the clear liquids for the first week, and then 3 weeks of puree. And then when you're a month out from surgery is when you start soft solids. Yeah.
You.
No problem.
Is there a regular cadence to this support group, or did you just put it together for the holidays?
We usually have one once a quarter. We usually send out the emails and everything to be able to RSVP and log in. We have different topics, anywhere from plastic surgery or goal setting. We do recipes. A lot of different little things we like to do. Occasionally we do exercise. But yeah, I mean, if you're interested in the topic, you're more than welcome to log in and sign in for those. But once a quarter is typically when we have them.
Okay. And then I have a follow-up question.
Sure.
You just mentioned exercise. So in terms of the weight loss and the excess skin, are there recommended exercises to help to reduce the chances of having that excess skin?
Definitely, if like in the belly area, crunches, any ab work can help, and then any toning with your arms and legs. But we always tell patients if the skin's elasticity is pretty shot, there's not a whole lot you can do about the skin. However, give it time also to kind of snap back, because when you're losing so quick, your body needs a moment to figure out what's going on every now and then. So I had a lap band a long time ago, and I noticed like skin on my arms, and I was worried about that, but it all kind of snaps back together. So we usually tell you to wait for at least 12 to 18 months to pursue plastics, and then making sure you're definitely at a stable weight at that point in time. But yeah.
Okay. But
And then, not that anyone wants to talk about this, but I have an audience, so I'm going to tell y'all, if you, when you're losing weight, if you have the excess skin and you get rashes at all in that fold, get that documented by your PCP or by us, one or the other. And then sometimes your insurance will cover a tummy tuck if that's the case, if you do get rashes. So just keep that in the back of your head if you experience that.
okay.
Why is that? Do you know why that is?
Why it happens or why they'll pay for
Or
it?
why they would cover it if there's a rash?
Because additional weight loss is not going to help it. If anything, it'll make it worse. Because like where the fold is, it's warm, it's moist, and that's like the perfect breeding ground for bacteria. So unless that's taken care of, that's something that would be an ongoing issue.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Now, is there a weight loss limit for people who's doing bariatric? And I'm asking this for a friend of mine.
Oh, I don't think we've ever turned anyone away for like a higher weight or anything. We just work with them a little bit more prior to surgery to get to a safe weight for surgery. So they may have some, time with us a little bit longer to get to surgery, just getting them to a safe weight. But yeah, I mean, I've been here a long time, so I have never seen anyone turned away for too high of a weight.
Yeah, because I noticed people had made reference to how quickly I was able to get my surgery done from the time I began. And I didn't think about that, but I think when people are going to OSU and different places,
Yeah.
maybe the criteria is longer and, a long time period, maybe because
Yeah.
of the number of people, maybe, or that, and they specialize in it too. So I didn't
Yeah.
know. It seems like it is a very quick, procedure as far
Yeah.
as when you start, to get prepared. And when I had it done, it was like maybe even just 3 months.
Yeah, yeah, and it depends. Like some insurances require so many like dietary visits before we can submit to insurance, and that could take 6 months depending on insurance and everything. So there's a lot of little factors that impact how quickly you make it through. Because some insurances don't require hardly anything to get approved, and they move through pretty quickly. So the
Yeah.
insurance definitely is pending on that, how quickly you move through everything.
Okay.
But yeah.
I was going to
Anybody
say,
else?
I did not go through insurance, but it was a month for me from the initial to surgery. And I tell people all the time when they were worried about that. Number one, I am a nurse. Number two, the staff did such an amazing job preparing you with everything that's to be done, your expectations and things of that nature. And I think people have it in their head, hey, the more workups they do, the better. Certain workups you just won't need. I was at probably a little bit more towards the smaller scale, and I've never had gastric GERD symptoms or anything like that, or anything which would indicate I needed certain things. EKG, I think we all need the lab work and paperwork and things of that nature, but people with certain long-term diseases or lifelong diseases like diabetes, hypertension, things of that nature, it did require a bit more workup.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And try not to get on the internet. I've gone a couple of Facebook groups, and it's thankfully I'm a brave person.
Yeah. I always tell patients,
Nah.
yeah, tread lightly on those forums or they will scare the bejesus out of you or give you
There was
potentially very bad advice. So some patients
horrible
or
advice.
some people give their advice like medical advice, which is definitely frowned upon. So just use your head, run things by us. If someone makes a recommendation, you're like, I don't know about that. Just run it by one of us and we'll tell you that's fine or maybe not.
Yeah,
Yeah, those
they said they were
forums are
eating protein waffles and sausage 3 days post-op, and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. I was
no.
October the 20th, and I'm still getting down Greek yogurt protein. There's no way.
That just made my blood pressure go up a little bit, actually. Ah. No. Yeah, there's another practice. Like I live in Northern Kentucky, and there's another practice in the area, and they let patients start soft foods 2 weeks post-op, and I'm like, what? That is
Oh.
insanity. I just that makes me so nervous. Like not in my house. I don't think so.
Can you talk about the pocket or the sleeves? I had the sleeve done.
Uh-huh.
And like right now, like what does that look like to food going down? Like, because I heard a lot of people say that, or the dietitian saying they don't want you to get anything stuck down there or anything.
If it gets stuck, it's usually my nice way of saying it's your fault, probably operator error. If you took too big of a bite, ate a little too fast, or didn't chew well enough, it feels like it sits under your breastbone. That's what the stuck feeling feels like.
Uh-huh.
It usually will pass. So it just kind of have to wait it out a little bit, but a lot of patients will drink when that happens, and that makes it worse. You'd think it would wash it through. It does not. It just
Okay.
brings it right back up. So yeah, don't drink if you have something stuck. But your pouch is usually, I think they say it's around 2 ounces, and with the sleeve it's more shaped like a hot dog. With a bypass it's more like a golf ball. So they're just a little different shaped.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But since I'm about 3 weeks out, it's starting to heal. And
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
because I didn't have any soreness or any pain, so I was really thankful about that, which I was
That's great.
surprised too, because I've had C-sections before, and
Oh,
those were the worst. But
it's
yeah,
like a walk in the park.
oh my God, yeah, this was a walk in the park. Yeah, like I was
Yes.
really, really thankful about that. But I just was wondering how that might look, and you said that about the swellingness of the digestive tract right now,
It's
and
more so the stomach, not so much the intestine. It's
okay,
just that part where the stomach's removed, that's where all the swelling is. So once that starts to go down, usually by the end of the first month, you're pretty clear for leaks. I've seen a few patients over the years have a leak after 30 days, but it was definitely dietary noncompliance. So that was the difference there. So, but most patients are pretty good after 4 weeks. We still keep it on the soft solids after the first month, just to not throw anything down there that could cause a ruckus. So we still try to be, mindful of what you're eating and a little bit on the softer side, but you can still chew things on the soft diet. So it'll be a great day when you get advanced, I promise.
I can't wait.
I don't know why, but like all my soft food advancements are always on a Friday. I always feel like Fridays are like a party. Everyone's like, you can chew again. This is great.
Right.
So,
Well, mine will be on a Monday. I can't wait.
okay. All right. Anyone else?
Is there a point at times where they would tell you to stop losing weight, either
To stop.
losing it too fast or getting down?
If you lose too much weight, sorry, it was breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, is time someone's
There,
like
I mean,
losing too fast, where they say slow down?
no. We usually say enjoy the ride when you're losing pretty quick, because it will slow down eventually. So yeah, it's rare that we have patients that go too far as weight loss, but we intervene if that's the case and help patients if they're a little too low. But never, if you're losing weight pretty quickly, that's what we say, enjoy the ride, because you'll hit a stall here eventually. So just enjoy it. So. Okay. Anyone else? All right. Well, I will hang tight here for a few more minutes. If you guys think of anything, or if you want to talk to me privately, that's fine too. Just let me know, and I can set up a separate visit with it in a separate room. So, but I will hang tight, and just let me know if you guys have any questions.